Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
On first down, Rodgers under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back. Kill.
Now Rodgers. Going deep downfield for Ross. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
6-6, pull it high.
Check 24, check 24.
You're waiting. Slam.
Check the backer, check the backer. Watch.
Red 80.
Screaming. Safety's screaming.
Check. Pilot, 64, weak.
Now a run with McCaffrey. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Let's go.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now we give right side McCaffrey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
Mike 50. Hey, Delta.
Long day. That's going to be a long day. Hey, check. Mike 50. Ricky.
Darnold from the gun. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And his kick is good. Not by much. It was leaking oil in the end, but he tucks it in the bottom right corner. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. It'll continue to be interesting in these wet conditions how these kickers fare, but first test, passed.
And how about how the special teams unit handled that? A lot of concentration to make sure the ball didn't slip through his fingers. After the snap, got it down and let him pop it through the posts.
Touchdown, Packers! It's a kickoff return of 94 yards, and the Packers have taken the lead. such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for everyone possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Let's go, Mike 50, Mike 50. You must be waiting.
The first carry for Josh Adams. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run on 2nd down with Adams. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Check it out, read.
61, matchbox lights.
Tighten, lady. Tighten up.
On first down, this is Adams. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On 2nd down now, it's Adams, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll try and pick up the first down with Adams. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Scarlett. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
At the 16-yard line.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Here we go, 50-50.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. And he's got his target. That's more. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
On 2nd down, it's Adams down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
It sounds like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On 2nd and 11 now, Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Back one. 54 is Mike. Hey, box drop.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Red 80. Red 80. 50, Mike 50. Brilliant. Protein spill.
Exit. Hey, Mike's 50. Check pass. Mike's 50.
Young lady. Let's go.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And he finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll go to Adams, try to pound it in. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Panthers' 1-yard line.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On 2nd down now, it's Adams. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come up in an offset eye. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Jordan Scarlett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to jump back in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
Sack City, baby.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Mike, 44. Come on, man, 80. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. He's going to find his running back. It's complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Watch the screen. Safe. Man, 80. No. Off.
Here's Adams. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Watch the run. Mike 42, check. Mike 42. I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Out. Deuce. 36.
Darnold on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now a shotgun handoff to Scarlett. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the 1st half.
Strip that ball. Switch. Young lady. Hey, watch this. General West.
They'll run it with Scarlett. And he's got room. boom. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they call a run on 3rd and a mile. Not only do they convert, but they tack on some yards at the end of it, too.
They went against what anyone would think would be a tendency, which is you're going to throw the ball on 3rd and a mile, right? But instead they decide to run the football because sometimes what you get is the defense is playing a little bit lighter. A lot of extra defensive backs, and they're loosened up for the pass. They found some running room and really converted.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Jordan Scarlett as the first half is winding down. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
It's now 2nd and 10.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Check 24. Check 24. Now, Liz. Check 59. Mike is 15.
Rodgers throwing again. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he stopped immediately there. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Bring it. Bring it. Mike 50, Mike 50.
Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. This is Scarlett on the carry, and he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
They have, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Back to you. Back to you.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Rodgers again now. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now,
or
very
lights
quickly,
out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The drive starts with a handoff to Adams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Check 9, check 9. No, 80. Big Ed.
Now a give here to Scarlett. Room past the 20. He's at the 50. The 30. Past the 20. And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. And the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
I got him. Inside. Mike 5-4.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Elsewhere in the NFL, they're in the second half at FedEx Field now. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
Yo, 80.
They will start the drive with Scarlett. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 31-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Check 31, check 31.
On the ground, right side, it's Adams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Once more, Adams on 1st down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards and a Panther 1st down. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Watch the shift. Check 43.
On the handoff, it's Scarlett. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, dude. For this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all play inside. Back north. Check safety.
Here's Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Working from the gun. Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Thompson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
The Packers go for it. Rodgers. Open man is Ross, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Brian Burns in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Now a desperate, and that's caught inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And that's complete to Adams. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot of.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Sack. 50, Mike 50, Mike 50. Rip left, rip left.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty.
It's just me and you.
The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. They put up their goal at the beginning of the season, and that was to win 7 games, and now they've accomplished that mission.
And congratulations to them for achieving their goal. They have to finish the season strong, but you got to think that going forward for next year, they're going to jump that number up a little bit higher.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.